Okay, so this is the Electric Start GX200 with the North Star high pressure pump on it. And so I put, I took the old hour meter off that was on here in the previous video because it goes to the other engine. And since this is a new engine to that pump, I got a new hour meter on there, and just figured I'd show how I routed the wires for that real quick. So got the bracket here that hooks up to the top two bolts on the pump. So bracket, wires go down, zip tied onto here, and then it's hard to see, but it runs underneath the starter. And then I got everything tied up with little tiny zip ties everywhere. And then it follows the original, like the factory ignition kill wire, all the way over here. And then this is the ground wire for the tiny Tach. And clip that guy. And the tiny Tach on my air compressor, the ground wire broke off years ago and it's still working, but they come with it, so put it on there. And then, oh cool, you can actually see a little bit. So yeah, the red wire there is the one that wraps around, holy shit, the one that wraps around the spark plug wire here. And then I put some heat shrink tubing on it. In the case of these Hondas, anyways, I don't know if all spark plug wires are like this, but this portion here, the plastic bit, is actually threaded into the wire here. So you actually just hold the wire and you can just unscrew it. And then that's how you can get the heat shrink on. But yeah. Oh, and then, of course, as you can see, I got it mounted in the frame that is original to the North Star high pressure pump. Of course, it was intended for just a standard air filter, not the Cyclone air filter, and so the pre-filter, or the pre-cleaner, sorry, sticks off the side over here. And then when the key switch is installed, it kind of overhangs a bit here too. So I'll probably make a new frame for it at some point. But the cool thing is, I think I have enough room over here to put like a tiny little like dirt bike battery or something over here, so that I can get the electric start working. What else? So, obviously I got to put the recoil start back on in the fuel tank, but I just figured I'd show how I run these wires here, because this way they're nice and tucked out of the way and everything. And, I wanted to make sure to do this right now, as opposed to later on down the road, because, we all know that there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution that works. And, just figured I'd show the paperwork here real quick. I've installed a couple different brands of these little, I don't know what you call it, inductive or whatever, tachometer, hour meters. But these tiny Tachs seem to be the best, and I'm pretty sure they're made in the U.S. I think on the back side there's a sticker that says made in the U.S. Here's another one, brand new in the package, and that is really hard. But yeah, made in USA. And I guess there's a part number for you too. This one here is going to be for my big air compressor. Once I finally get around to putting this thing on a trailer. But yeah, I've had really good luck with the tiny Tachs versus some other brands. But what I was going to show here, so you see here the red wire should be slipped over spark plug wire about 1 turn. And then talks down here about you can add more turns if you need to. And if you look on this one here, you know, I don't know what you'd call that, 2 full turns or something. The only thing that I've noticed that is a problem with putting too many turns on it is that these things will display, well, yeah, digital tach and hour meter. These things will display RPM when they're running, and if you put too many turns on it, it won't read accurately. And so you can actually like fine tune the amount of turns to the engine RPM so that you get an accurate RPM reading. To me, that's not much of a concern. My really only reason for putting these on here is for keeping track of the hours on it. But just something to be aware of, I guess, if you're putting one of those on. And there she is.